Hi, welcome back to Game Does Play Games. So, we are back.
Your intros are probably my favorite.
The best.
The best.
Alright, last we left off, we got expelled for bullshit reasons.
I mean, yeah.
We threw a dagger at somebody that was trying to kill our friend. She raised a sword thing to her back, and we saved her life, and she was like, you could have got a teacher, or an instructor to help you out. No. No, I couldn't.
We'd be having a very different conversation if we left to go get an instructor.
Yeah, it'd be like more like, my friend's dead, and she'd have been like, well, I guess she's expelled. No, my friend is dead. Also, somebody was already getting an instructor, and you still didn't show up until after everything had already happened.
I know, right?
Bullshit. Anyway.
Mina needs to keep working. She has the same spirit I had at her age, including my weakness. I'm standing right here.
You made the writing's great.
It is pretty good.
Sorry, Mimi. I tried. Why don't you go on restocking duty? I can peel the potatoes.
They're potatoes.
I think some exercise would be good for you. Get some fresh air.
This potato has a face.
Fine.
Be quick. The restaurant is opening.
I like to imagine that the potatoes do look like those beans, and as you peel them, they're just like...
But still smiling the entire time.
Go wild. The only thing ruining the backyard is all the monsters piling up since we haven't had your combat skills to help us.
Saskia.
What? It's true. Let loose, Mimi.
I would love to play as Saskia.
That would be fun. Knives! Really can just like make it rain. Oh, is it just like 1 MP per knife throw?
Yep.
I think I probably realized that before, but that explains why you can just rain knives 1 second and, you know, just use one knife the next. Also, that was awesome.
Oh yeah, I've never seen me do that. You do this, and then you throw a bunch of knives at them while they're stuck in place.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Now, is there ever a circumstance where using an ability like that can create different ingredients?
No, we've talked about this before. You were all like, ooh, fire stuff can create fire stuff. And I was like, no, that's not how
I mean,
it works.
yeah. I mean, I thought that was the thing.
Are you looking it up to try to prove me wrong? Because I'm pretty sure you've actually tried to look it up before.
I'm pretty sure I did too, but no.
Order up.
Broken record over here. 2 barrel noodle.
That's all you, Mina. I gotta run the table.
Oh, or a mini game where you play as Saskia, and you what am I doing? You play as Saskia, and you are running the tables. You're acting as the server,
I mean, they could be fun.
right? You need
Whoa,
fire.
there's some weird clipping with that. It's like the rib is going through her shoulder, but it's also kind of like
awesome.
she's reaching over it, you know?
Thank you so much.
It kind of gives you some insight on how they handle the layers, though.
Yeah.
So, like, her body sprite is behind the food, but her arm... Sorry, I keep hitting you.
You're a dick.
Her arm sprite is drawn in front of the layer that has the ingredients kind of boiling around. I mean, like, that makes perfect sense.
Delicious.
It's just you don't really think about it until you notice little things like that. And it just so happened that the ribs were scaled
Simon's on his way.
a little too large, or they were drawn a little too large, so it caused the weird clipping.
Everything is like large and exuberant, though. It is. Or at least the dishes are.
Sorry, Mrs. Hahn. Our farm got attacked by a bow run, and the barn almost toppled over. Pops took care of it, though.
I really wish we could meet his dad. He's like the second thing they said, like, my dad just like
Thought I was gonna be
destroys
a
monsters.
Hey, Mina. Got anything new for me to try today?
Oh, hey. No, just the usual.
Mina, why don't you help Simon move the satchels into the cellar?
Let's go.
I moved him satchels into cellar.
Now that we're done hauling all that grain, how about a word, huh? A sound? I don't even think I've heard you sneeze since you've been back.
I'm gonna find this information.
What's there to
So I'm
talk
saying.
about?
what is there to talk about? Like,
don't know.
a million different things. Like, how come no one has bothered to mention that the guy Saskia started dating needs to chew with his mouth closed?
Don't be mean. Saskia's happy. Alex is a nice guy. But he could eat a little bit neater.
Ah, there you go.
Hmm?
Look at you using words and talking. You are alive.
Barely. I'm grounded for life. I'm going to be in that kitchen cooking the same things until I die. I can forget about seeing beyond this village ever again. Forget about the brigade.
Well, now never mind.
What is it?
You could always run away again. Next year.
Oh, please. Like my mom would
No,
never
you
let me
can't
slip
run away
away
again next year. You're expelled for 2 years.
Is it-
Boy.
Staying here isn't so bad, is it? You can still test your experiments on me. I don't mind.
I'm the Iron Stomach,
Well, I mean,
remember? Not
alright.
you.
I know you're upset, but there's still so much here for you.
I'll wait.
Restaurant, your family, the old man.
You don't get it.
I don't know what's happening here.
You're satisfied with being stuck here doesn't mean that I am. I gotta get back to the house.
Minas, you're so
He's
sad.
just trying to help. I shouldn't have blown up on him.
No, I'm just.
It's a good
Okay.
village. It's a good restaurant. I've got my.
Hey, I'm paying attention.
Hmm.
Maybe.
Hmm.
You don't deserve to be here.
Oh. So on the Steam forum, I was trying to like see if anyone was talking about how to get different ingredients, and this is what I came up with. I saw someone asking how many ingredients / recipes are in the game, and Tom Eastman says about 200 recipes and about 50 ingredients. It's like, oh, this is kind of cool, and the person's response is nice. That's a good number. It's the entire discussion thread. It's like, all right, good
Oh,
times.
speaking of which, so we met Tom Eastman.
Yeah, we met him at a Holiday Mixer. I mean, like, he's a Chicago game dev, so it's kind of
Well, it
easy.
wasn't yet
He's
hard
also a
for me.
super tall dude, so
He is
it's pretty easy
a
to
very
bump
tall
into.
guy. Yeah, he was one of those people at the mixer that like everybody was gravitating toward.
I mean, he had just released Battle Chef Brigade not too long ago. He's, a hotshot indie dev right now with the name, so everyone probably wants to chat with him. So it's
Probably
like,
throw
I'm
their
I'm
idea,
not
their game
surprised.
at him, and yeah. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that sounds great.
And I think what Bobby was telling me last I spoke was that Trinket is like, we just hope to like make back the money we put into the game, and they probably will, but they're probably not going to make much more than that, which is like, they deserve so much more than just making back the money they spend.
Especially
Because it's
nowadays.
not like Adult Swim Games paid them to finish the game. Adult Swim Games just helped them publish it, which is a very distinctive difference.
That is true. Yeah, especially in today's market, that's happening a lot where it's like your first game you hope to just break even, just so you can get a name for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, all the guys in Trinket have made games before. I don't know what any of them are, or how many of them were commercial releases, but this isn't their first game as developers. Maybe as a team, but
Who's gotten
I think I don't know. I'm gonna look that up now.
So while we were talking about that, so basically the plot at the moment is that people are getting sick from food, and they're like, oh, they're getting sick from our food, and basically everyone's just getting sick from like all food.
That's not good.
Yeah. So remember before, like very first episode, it was like foreshadow. The very first thing they were talking about is like some of the food was tasting a little funny, and so they were like, let's not use this stuff. Now it's like every like creature is giving us bad food, even in our
Like it's everything is tainted with some kind of like disease.
Yeah, everything that the Brigadiers were bringing in was like sickening people. So now we're like, oh, we'll just use this stuff in our backyard. And oh, is that the coin I just put on the counter? Oh yeah, look at that, +1 coin. All right.
I mean, in little details.
So while he's looking that up, look at this guy running around. Look how fast he is. Look how fast he is. Oh. He's so much faster, and that egg is also so much faster.
But they're like evil.
Yeah.
They're tainted.
Hey, don't shoot shit at me. I'll shoot.
So is it going to be a matter of like you have to get these things out as you're cooking them to actually like remove the disease or the toxins?
Well, right now it's just collect 12 things and put them in your pantry, but you know.
But I mean, like, I'm probably right. So this isn't their first game actually as a team.
I'm not surprised with the quality of Battle Chef Brigade.
They made Orion's Forge and they made Color Sheep. I only see 3 on their website, but it looks like the first 2 games that they made were mobile games, actually. Which, you know, makes sense because around the time that they would have made those, mobile games are a little bit more
easier
worthwhile.
to sell.
Yeah, exactly.
When there wasn't being 500 being released every day.
It looks pretty fucking cute, though. Like, I'm looking at a picture of a sheep that's just like
Shooting a laser
Kamehamehaing out of his mouth, yeah.
On our walk to the market, Charles spun a tale about how he fended off a raging bow run from destroying his farm. At first, I thought he was boastful, but now I'm not so sure.
Simon's dad does love to exaggerate.
True, but Simon mentioned the attack yesterday. I don't think this is one of Charles's tall tales.
So what's this have to do with the market's goods?
I can't say for sure, but these monsters concern me. Their behavior's tumultuous at the best of times, and now they're more ferocious than ever. I wouldn't be surprised to learn they've been evolving.
Evolving.
Yeah, the timing is definitely
Now the game pulls a frog
suspicious.
fractions on us, and it's all about Pokemon.
I mean, like...
And you start ranching the monsters, and then cooking with it.
I wouldn't be totally disappointed.
That's what we're thinking.
Mina, you've got the sharpest senses out of all of us. Take a closer look at these ingredients for us, will you?
Okay. I hate to admit it, but I've been neglecting my responsibilities.
You don't need to tell us that. No offense, sleepyhead.
It's okay, Mina. Get the stove going, and let's do some tests.
It's like kind of what I hope that Ooblets will be like. Have you seen that one? Ooblets is like a gardening Pokemon game.
No,
It's
I haven't.
super fucking cute. I've been stoked to get my hands on that once it's done. But you look like you're waiting to say
Whoa.
something. I'll let you finish before I talk more about Ooblets.
So because of your colorblindness, this is the part where the game might get a little challenging for you, because that symbol in the center of each gem that you're so focused on is now...
Yeah, it's kind of obscured. I mean, I can kind of tell that those are fire. But yeah, I think it's... Oh. Why you don't like colorblind people? So is it more... So you don't necessarily need to get rid of them, or do you want to get rid of them?
So you... Well, I mean, maybe if you just freaking waited for to find out. Maybe I shouldn't have destroyed those on purpose. Whoopsie
I'm mostly...
doodles.
Yeah, I was mostly just asking because... I was wondering if they were going to explain, or if they've already explained that, hey...
So bam.
Oh, okay, so you can turn them into good stuff.
Exactly.
I mean, that's pretty clever. I like that because it means you have to be more careful, and since you're already going to be panicking and trying to, like, make a good dish out of this before your time runs out, I mean, I assume there'll still be some sort of time mechanic whether or not we're in the competition.
Yeah.
So it works out, right? Because it means you have to be smart as well as...
So before when you were like mixing things, all you had to do was worry about matching, and that was it. And so a lot of times your concerns actually are like, this mechanic suddenly makes those concerns a little invalid now. Because remember when I was like, the cutting board will be much more important. So you actually get, I think you get a negative score if you break any pieces in your dish.
Oh,
I think
wow.
it takes off some points from it. Because the idea, monster parts are breaking down.
It doesn't taste too different at first, but when overmixed, it begins to
Okay,
And
so
then
that makes
now-
sense.
Boom.
Oh.
We're doing all right on time, right? Because
We're at the last 25 seconds, but we can wrap up this segment, especially because I kind of delayed some stuff.
so these are poison parts.
What was I going to say, though?
And now I rotate them one and notice how they're gushing.
Oh, they're like getting worse. Ew.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, those are not similar matching parts. Oh, whoopsie doodles.
Yeah, the one in the middle is a level 1. Oh, what I was going to say is I really liked that when they first introduced the orbs that break, they gave you enough things in your inventory to still meet that goal. So it allowed the player to fail, which they inevitably will do since they don't know how this works yet.
Oh.
Hey,
Now watch that slot there.
oh.
Yeah, that's fine. I didn't do it in time. Well, no, okay. Hit the blue one instead. All right, that was a poor example. I apologize.
So does it automatically
Wait, here.
upgrade
We'll do it again.
a piece?
So now that slot. Boom.
Oh.
So those
That's
are
nice.
poisonous pieces, and you'll find out later, but if you serve them to the judges, almost all of them make a joke about you trying to assassinate them. Like, you're going to have to try harder than that. But they'll give you, if you have a poisonous piece, you get a -20 to the score of the dish.
Wow, you'd think it'd be more severe than that.
No, maybe it's -50 and -20 per bone or something like that. But it might be per piece. I don't actually know.
So what happens if you serve them a dish that's like all poison?
Well, I don't know because there is talk about it, and there's actually, you can get a side ingredients where you can add poison to the dish. Because the idea is if you can match 3 poisons, then you get an upgrade thing, right?
Oh, right. That makes sense.
So you can actually use it to your advantage.
That's so crazy. I mean, like, it makes sense. Especially understanding the system of the game. Huh. You know what else would be cool, though, with that in mind, is if, like, you could actually get a level 4 piece utilizing that.
That would be pretty cool.
Right? Because it would be such a
And
narrow...
like, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be such a narrow case, but it would further utilize poison as an actual advanced mechanic instead of a hindrance.
Oh, man. As we could.
I mean, I still like how it is now. I'm just like...
Actually served this to customers, did we?
So,
No way we did. This must be from spoiling within the past day.
right.
Ugh, there's definitely a foulness to the taste now.
Well, you certainly seem calm. Didn't you inspect the produce before buying?
Aw,
Ooh.
pointing fingers isn't going
Dang,
to help
Mom.
anything.
Dang!
Pa, I think we should look at what Mina brought in from the garden earlier.
They're just as bad even though they're from our backyard.
Then it might not be the Brigadier's fault.
That just leaves a problem with the monsters themselves. How could this happen?
I'm not sure, but we'll have to be extra careful from now on. When you took the right precautions, it seemed like the poison dissipated.
Which is what we talked about. Combine 3 poisons, all of a sudden, not anymore. So that's the thing that they say, like, oh, well, if you combine them, then, like, it's not a problem. They don't actually mention that it's a benefit if you do combine them. That's up to the player to realize.
I think that's an important distinction, too, because, you know, to them, like, the non-chefs, they may think that that's something that's just purely bad. And it makes sense, right? Like, you and I might see rot on meat or something. Be like, I'm not gonna eat that. Or like,
there's no way you can make this turn into a good thing.
Or at best, like, you cut it off and you're like, well, the rest is probably fine. But like, there are legitimate processes of tenderizing meat that require letting bacteria chomp the hell out of it. That, like, you and I, as normal people, would never dream of understanding.
Cheese, for example.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, maybe that's sort of the idea behind that mechanic. And it's probably also just like a balance to make the toxin less of a hindrance and just to make things more interesting and keep, you know, the gameplay flowing in a way that doesn't feel cumbersome. And it does add some interesting strategy to how you approach cooking your dishes. So, like, I think there's a lot of reasoning behind why they set up the system that way. But, you know, I guess really you could take whichever one of those or all of those as their reasoning for it. I think all that's...
There's a side tangent. There's a liquor I just found out about. So Cachaça is a type of rum. Well, it's not really technically a rum, it's the cousin to rum. Very similar, it's just like how they distill it kind of makes it a little different. But a lot of them have this type of flavor in it that most like professionals would just describe as funky. And basically they're like they don't like to describe it like with words, because to describe it with words, they're like, it tastes kind of like rotten fruit. And it like most people would be like, I'm not going to try that. But then when you try it, if it's mixed into a drink, all of a sudden people are like, this is crazy good. But I would have never imagined it would be good at all. So it's actually kind of along the same lines.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's something I started playing with recently.
I mean, that's kind of fun. I'm intrigued.
It's I haven't got too far with it, but let's see what happens. Anyway, I think question of the day is, how do you think that the what do they call it? They're technically called bad taste gems, but how do you think the correct gem and the poison gems will affect the game in the future?
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.